What up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Unscripted Sports Show. I'm your host, MoneyE. Episode, I believe it's 85. Um, Back here with the MLB weekend recap and MLB Power Rankings 15. I'm doing it a little differently because I found a tier list site where I can actually do it in the tier. So, show in a little bit, but to recap the weekend, let's do that. Let's change this view. So it was a interesting week of baseball. Let's start with Tuesday, last Monday, Memorial Day. No, I think I already kind of recapped that. So let's start with Tuesday. I know it says weekend, but I want to recap the week since we're in June already. I want to start recapping more of the weekend, but I'll still call it weekend. Dodgers and Guardians had a 3-game series. Dodgers took 2 out of 3 there. He won 9-5 in the first game. Cardinals and Orioles. I think the Orioles took 2 out of 3. Take a look. Tigers and Giants had a good series. I think Tigers took 2 out of 3. I know the Dodgers took 2 out of 3. The Phillies and Braves. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 there. Bryce Harper got hit in the hand. There was some controversy where the Phillies didn't hit back, but I understand that the unwritten rule of baseball, and I'm not as pissed off as other people because I think there's other series in this season where we can retaliate. I know fans want to retaliate right away and stand up for Harper, but it's not today's game. Unfortunately, today's game has changed where the unwritten rule has kind of faded out. I'm old school as it gets. I'm all for hitting back as long as it's not the head. You want to protect your best player. Harper is your franchise player, so you want to protect him. So I understand that perspective. Let's change this. So I get that part. Change it to this for now. So I get that part of wanting to protect the player. Bryce Harper is our franchise player. He's our cornerstone of the franchise for the next 5-6 more years, maybe even longer. So I get it. I get why fans are pissed off about that. And I understand why the Phillies didn't do it. We don't want to get suspended, blah, blah, blah. But I think there's other series this season with the Braves that you can do it in late August or whenever we play them again, where we can retaliate. And they don't see it coming. And hey, it's baseball. People want to. It's always been in that rule, the unwritten rule of baseball. The so-called unwritten rules of baseball, where when your star player gets hit, and it's not the first time Harper has gotten hit. It was the third time in like 4 games he's gotten hit, so that's why people are pissed off. And it's Braves and it's Spencer Strider who hit him. So Strider says he didn't hit him on purpose, which is probably true because Strider probably has lost some control of his pitches this season because he's just coming back from Tommy John. So I understand both sides where the Phillies didn't hit him. I think they will retaliate later in the season. I don't think it was 100% necessary in this series. If they did, they did. If they didn't, I wasn't going to be too mad about it. But I understand why people are pissed off, and rightfully so. I'm not as pissed off as most fans, but I understand that. And Bryce Harper has missed the last 5 games, and the Phillies are 1-4 in those 5 games. So, and he's supposed to come back tomorrow. So, hopefully the lineup will come back strong. Yeah. Sorry, I had to close the door. There was some noise. So with that said, let's continue to recap. White Sox and Mets. Mets 2-3. Twins and Rays. I think the Rays 2-3. Royals and Reds. I think the Royals 2-3. Red Sox Brewers. Brewers won. Almost swept them because they won straight. Cubs and Rockies. Rockies. I think Cubs swept. Yankees Angels. Yankees 2-3. Athletics and Houston. Houston swept, I believe, because the Athletics on a losing streak. Texas and Toronto. Toronto 2-3 because they're on a winning streak. Pittsburgh, Arizona. I think Pittsburgh 2-3, or they might have swept. Arizona is on a downfall right now. Washington, Seattle. I think Washington won. No, Seattle 2-3, I believe. And the Marlins and Mariners. Marlins and Padres. I believe the Marlins won. I believe the Padres 2-3. Let's take a look. I already know a couple of them. And the Phillies played a doubleheader on Thursday because it was rained out on Wednesday. So Tigers 2-3. Rays. Let's see. Twin. Yep. I think the Rays. I think the Rays Twins 2-3. Athletics. Yep. They got swept. Mets lost. Yeah, Mets lost the last game of the series. Diamondbacks. Yep. Pittsburgh took either 2-3 or the swept. And Padres, I think, took 2-3. Orioles lost 2-3, I believe. Blue Jays, obviously, they won 2-3. Cubs, they swept. Royals, I think that was 2-3. Yankees swept. And Washington, I think. I want to say the Royals took 2-3. Where they swept. So Thursday, Athletics and Blue Jays started a 4-game series. Blue Jays swept them. They killed them. That's funny because the Blue Jays got killed against the Rays last week, and I talked about that. And the Blue Jays come out this week and go 6-1. So baseball's been weird this season. I've noticed that a lot of teams have been up and down. Each week is different, and I'll talk about it with my rankings, with how consistent I've been with. There's been 8 teams that have been in the top 15 in my top 15 all year. I only do top 15 power rankings top 15. So top power rankings 15. So I only do 15 teams. So there's been 8 teams that have been in my rankings every week, and most of them have been. I think most of them, those 8 teams have been in the top 11. Because the Cubs and Detroit started out in 10 and 11 in week 1, and then those 2 teams have been consistently in the top 10. So 8 teams that we'll talk about later have been in the top 10. None of them have been outside the top 10 besides week 1, where I think the Tigers were. But moving on, the Astros and Rays started a 4-game series. Washington took 2 out of 3 from the Mariners. So Washington was hot last weekend, and they cooled off this weekend. And then the Phillies and Braves split a 2-game doubleheader, so the Braves salvaged the sweep. And let's start the new week. So the biggest series of the year, it was the World Series rematch between the Yankees and Dodgers. Yankees and Dodgers it was on Friday night on Apple TV. It started off hot because Aaron Judge hit a home run, and then Ohtani hit a home run. And I think Ohtani hit 2 home runs that game. And the Yankees had a lead. Dodgers came back and won 8-5. I thought the Yankees had won, and I looked the next morning and they won 8-5. Like, wow. Okay. And then the Twins, Seattle's Twins win the first game. I think Seattle 2 out of 3. Pirates and Padres won the first one. I want to take a look at the Pirates sweep. I swear they swept. No, they took 2 out of 3 from the Mariners. Okay, not the Mariners, Diamondbacks. I thought they swept. So moving on to Saturday, which was Friday. Giants and Nationals. Giants win the first game. Wait, no. That's last week. Oops. Hold on. I moved too much. Wait. Okay, Friday. That was the wrong Friday. So, Brewers and Phillies started a 3-game series. The Brewers swept them. They dominated that series. Props to the Brewers. The Brewers are the hottest team in baseball. And the Phillies are 1-4 without Harper. So, yeah, there's that. Walker got no, Walker did Walker things. Cubs and Reds. Reds won the first game of the series, and Cubs the last 2. White Sox and Orioles. I think 2 out of 3. Blue Jays, as I said, Blue Jays dominated that series. They won 12-0 the first game, 11-7 the second. And I think they scored a lot of runs in that too, I think. Angels, Cleveland. Angels won the second game, 4-1. Cleveland won the first one. I watched that live. Mets and Rockies. Mets took 2 out of 3 there. No, they swept. Giants and Marlins. I think the Giants won 2 out of 3. Red Sox and Braves. I think the Braves won 2 out of. No, the Braves lost 2 out of 3. Yeah, because the Red Sox won the last 2. Rangers and Cardinals. I think Rangers took 2 out of 3. No, this is Friday. So, Angels took the first game. Guardians took the next 2, I think. And then, as I said, the Yankees came back. Dodgers came back and won. Padres beat the Pirates. Next day, there was a lot of runs scored. There was teams that scored over 10 runs, and the Blue Jays won 8-7 in the next game, so they scored 8+ again. Cubs won 2-0. Rangers lost 2-0. Phillies lost 17-7, but that wasn't the story. The story was Rendon gave up 11 runs. He wasn't pulled until after he gave up the 11th run. Thompson was ejected. So it was a big showing by the Brewers. The Brewers scored 8 in the 4th. And he still wasn't pulled until after Thompson was ejected. So, yeah, I don't know why he was left in there because I guess the bullpen was there was not enough people. I guess he was trying to. I guess they didn't have enough people in the bullpen to pull him out early or whatever. I don't know what the reasoning was, but I think he'll bounce back from this. His next outing is on Thursday against the Blue Jays. So I think it was just a bad outing. Pitchers have that. Guardians 175. I saw that game. Orioles 142. They took that of 3 because they won first. Rays beat the Astros 16-3 in the second game. Mets won 8-2. 5-0 for the Braves. They won the second game. Nationals won 11-7. I think they swept them. And then there's the big one. Dodgers won 18-2. They scored. They hit so many home runs. I don't even know what. Let's take a look. Now, Tiny hit like 2. Every time I looked up, and that they hit another home run. Let's see how many home runs. We got Muncy that hit 2. We got Muncy that hit 2. You got it seemed like a lot of people hit home runs, but I think it was a lot of singles, a lot of doubles, mainly. I saw Kim hit a home run, Aaron Judge hit a home run. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there was a lot of offense in that game, mainly by the Dodgers, obviously. So, and then yesterday. Sunday, you had the Rangers won their series, Red Sox won their series, Orioles swept. I think that was like the first sweep this year. Obviously, the Blue Jays finished on a 4-game sweep. The A's have fallen. Guardians won 2 out of 3. Phillies got swept. I think for the first time since the Mets. First time at home. The Mets swept the Rockies. No surprise there. The Giants won. Tigers and Royals. Tigers won 1-0. That's the Royals won 1-0. Was that Sunday? No, that was Saturday. The Royals won 1-0. Right? Did they have back-to-back 1-0 games? Like, no offense in that series. Yeah. The Royals won 1-0 and the Tigers won 1-0. Like, no offense in that series. There's been a lot of 1-0 games this year. The Royals didn't score their 1 run to the A's. The Astros won 1-0. Wow. The Blacks won 3-1. They salvaged the series. Cubs won. Padres won their series. Mariners salvaged their series. And the Yankees salvaged their series on Sunday Night Baseball. So starting tonight, the Mets and Dodgers play the rematch of last year's NLCS, and they just played last weekend too. So rematch of that. Last weekend. But Rockies, and they play on Sunday Night Baseball too. So the Dodgers are coming off Sunday Night Baseball, but they stay at home. So it's like the Mets went last week when they played Sunday Night Baseball and stayed at home. So the Rockies and Marlins start a series in about 20 minutes. Angels and Red Sox. Brewers and Reds start a series. The Red Hot Brewers. Tigers and White Sox. Padres and Giants. Twins and A's. And Mets and Dodgers. The series that start tomorrow. Cubs and Nats. Astros and Pirates. Guardians and Yankees. So the Yankees come back home. Phillies go back on the road after a 6-game road homestand. They go back on the road to play the Blue Jays and Pirates, and then come back home next week to play the Cubs, I believe. I believe they play the Cubs. And Blue Jays and Phillies. Congratulations, Zach Wheeler. He's expecting his fourth child, him and his wife. Congratulations to him. He's not pitching tomorrow. He was scratched this for tomorrow's game because of that. But congratulations to those two. And hope for a healthy baby. Congrats. Zach Wheeler is one of my favorite. It's my favorite pitcher, so congrats to him. Angels and Red Sox. Angels and Red Sox continue their series. Brewers and Reds continue their series. D-backs and Braves start their series. Rangers and Rays start their series. Tigers and White Sox. Royals and Cardinals start their series again. So the battle, they just played, I think, a couple weeks ago when they had that weekend series where everybody played their in-state rival. Apparently, St. Louis and Kansas City are playing again. So Orioles and Mariners, Padres and I don't know if it's a 2-game one. Padres and Giants, Twins and Athletics, and Mets and Dodgers continue their series. Wednesday, let's see. Thursday. Was it a 2-game series? Let's see. No, it's a 3-game. So a lot of Thursday games this week, so it's good. And then this weekend, Marlins and Rays, Phillies and Pirates, so Rangers and Nationals, Cubs and Tigers, D-backs, Reds, Red Sox, Yankees, Astros, Guardians, Royals, Royals and White Sox, Jays and Twins, Mets and Rockies, play again, Dodgers and Cardinals, Dodgers go back on the road, Padres, Brewers, Mariners, Angels, Orioles, A's, Braves go on the road, or Braves and Giants. So that's this week. Let's take a look at now to the power rankings. There we go. Hit the wrong button. So the power rankings coming in at number 15. Number 15, the Toronto Blue Jays. Number 15. So they had a good week. System 1, so they deserve to be in the top 15 again. Number 14, Milwaukee Brewers. 6-0 this week. Swept the Phillies. They swept a top team. They deserve in their home ballpark. And they deserve to be at number 14. Let me read it that way. Coming at number 13. Staying at number 13 from last week. So 15 and 14. Brewers and Mariners. Brewers and Blue Jays weren't in the top 15 last week, so they make it in. Number 13 will be the Seattle Mariners. So, yes, the Seattle Mariners, number 13. 3 week. So, the number 12, another 3-3 week by the Guardians. They stand move down a spot to number 12 from number 11, Cleveland. There we go. Coming in at number 11, moving one spot down from number 10, the St. Louis Cardinals. Also a 3-3 week. Coming in at number 10, Minnesota Twins. Also 3-3 weeks. Moved down one spot. Coming in at number 9, the Houston Astros move up 3 spots to number 9. They had a good week. They're only only half game out in first place. It looks like Houston's going to take over that division again. Wow. Houston Astros own that division. Number 9 for number 12. San Francisco Giants come at number 8. They move down one spot from number 7. 2-4 week for the Giants. At number 7 is the Philadelphia Phillies. They moved outside the top 5 into number 7. They beat the Braves 3, but they lost Harper and they got swept badly by the Brewers, especially the first 2 games. They had the game. They should have won yesterday, but they didn't. So they moved to number 7 this week. 2-4 weeks. Come on. There we go. Coming in at number 6 is the San Diego Padres. They move 2 steps up from number 8. Yep. Where are they? San Diego. Yep. Yeah, I messed up here. Oh. Did I forget San Yeah, I forgot San Francisco. I was wondering, wait, why did that happen right there? Okay. There we go. Nope. I was wondering, okay. So far, number 6 is San Diego Padres. Number 5, New York Mets come back to the top 5. Nope, not the White Sox. What it's doing? New York Mets, number 5. Man, the White Sox. Number 4, the New York Yankees move up one spot. Move over, Yankees. And move over, Mets. Big brother's coming. The Dodgers stay at 3. They had a good week. They took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. They had a 4-4 week. Or 4-2 week. I mean. Sorry, 4-2 week. Dodgers. Yep. I don't know what I would have done if the Yankees beat. I would probably put Dodgers number 5 or something. Dodgers took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. Tigers stay at number 2. They went 5-1 this week. The only reason they stay at number 2 is because the Cubs were number 1 last week, went 5-1 too. So Cubs. Cubs at number 1. Come on. All right, you can do it. There we go. There we go. That's and dropping out of the top 15. Here's the spot for them. The Royals, who were at number 14, and the Angels, who were at number 15. That's your tier list this week. Tier list rankings, whatever you want to call it. I'll be doing it this week. The format I'll be doing this week. I think it's cool. It's pretty cool doing it this way, showing where each one goes, and then displaying the record and stuff. So, so the rankings are in the bottom too. So check that out. Trying to think of anything else. NBA and NHL, NBA Finals and NHL Stanley Cup start this week on Thursday's NBA Finals. Game 1 in Oklahoma City and Stanley Cup Finals rematch starts on Wednesday. This time it starts in Edmonton. I'll be doing a preview and predictions either tomorrow or Wednesday. Possibly with David Sean. So hopefully those two can come on. We can do a show tomorrow or Wednesday before this Cup Final start. Should be fun. That one will be live too. So, and then check out When Tunes Combine this week. It will be Pokemon versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 7 o'clock live, 7 o'clock p.m. on YouTube on When Tunes Combine. Check that out on Saturday at 7 o'clock p.m. And on the bottom, we're doing the contest, giving out $100 Amazon gift card for whoever wins their division. Each person will get division. Our goal is up to we have 55 right now. Our goal is 60. We could push it over 60 if get more. I don't know if we have a deadline yet, but yeah. But if you want to join, let us know in the comments. Details will be on the bottom and in the description later on. Check that out. Listen to us on Spotify. Listen to this show on Spotify. It has its own feed, and then every single Unscripted Podcast Network has its own. It has everything from all the shows on this show, When Tunes Combine, the flagship show Wrestling Through the Years, and Stabcast. So check that out. I think that's it for this week. So for MoneyE, out.